Hey, what's up guys? Made a video here on how to get these side markers done in your car. So let's get to it. I decided to do just a voiceover of video I made because the garage that I work in is too loud. So just decided to do it this way. So right here we got the template. I'll have that down in the description where you guys can get that. So just started out by cutting it out. You don't need an X-Acto knife or anything. If you just have scissors, just cut out the middle part. I just used what I had, so just use the straight blade or whatever. Right here, I'm just going over the edges, make sure I get them all cut out perfectly. So that bottom one was the passenger side, and the top one is the driver side. The template pretty much shows you how to lay it out. So yeah, just cutting that out, making sure it's all good. Couple parts here and there. My car, I pretty much rebuilt and did everything on my car in the engine bay, so my car is pretty much taken apart, so it's a lot easier for me to do it, other than other people that daily their car and do all that. But you could still do the same thing. Shouldn't be too hard. So right here I used a cartboard just to make sure that the sizing and just everything was gonna work. So I kind of just traced them over a cartboard, and now I should be just cutting that out. Yep. And what I'm doing here is just reassuring that the sizing and everything was good on that template, because when you print it or anything like that, that could be off, and you only got one shot at this, so you want to make sure you do it right the first time, because you mess this up, you will be buying another fender. So yeah, pretty much just put it in. As long as it's nice and tight, you should be good. So I wasn't sure which way it went. Once I cut it, I forgot which way I cut it, but it was pretty close. That's all I wanted. And yeah, just make sure you get it right the first time, because you get one shot at this. So everything was good. Make sure everything was good. So right here, I'm gonna start laying out the stencil and make sure everything's gonna work. Masking tape, pretty much masking tape, or that blue tape for painters, for painting inside the house, that works. Right here, that paper I had, I cut it in half. So this is the passenger side, and this is just me getting it lined up as best as I can. Getting this painter's tape on there. So right here I'm having trouble getting it on because of all the wax, and from throughout the years, I always clean it, so the thing's not gonna stick on. So yeah, right here I got some wax and grease remover. Some stuff left over from me painting the engine bay and doing a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you want to get that on there, get all the wax and the products that you've used on your car. That should get it right off. And get a wet paper towel right after, and clean that off, and just get it as clean as you can. You don't have to use that, but it does solve the problem pretty fast. So dry that up, and yeah, you should be all set now. So yeah, here I am just getting that on there. And so right here, you just want to line up your template. Like I said, there's two halves to that paper. There's a passenger side and a driver side, so make sure you're using the passenger side. So yeah, just line it up. Some people like to use a string and then level that and use a level, but I don't think you have to get that crazy. Kind of just use your eye and maybe call someone over to come take a look at it, and move it around and adjust it. but I mean, as long as you get it close to that accent line on the top, you should be good. And yeah, I moved mine around a couple times, but you know, just move it around if you have to. Like me, I probably moved it like 2 or 3 times. So right here, with a Sharpie, kind of went over it, but when I did after I did this one, I ended up using a pen. For me, I feel like that worked better. The pen worked a lot better. Either way, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just easier with the pen to outline. So once I get that all straight, everything's good. Should be ready to cut right after. Now I used a Dremel from Walmart. It was like 37 bucks, I think, and you could probably get them cheaper on eBay. I used a single speed. You don't need like any professional ones, or you know, the 8700, I don't know, they got all these different ones. You just need a single speed, and it should say on there that it cuts through metal, wood, and whatever else. So yeah, make sure you got your safety glasses. Very important right there. Look at that. That shit goes everywhere, and it's just a little dangerous, and you're constantly gonna have that stuff hitting you in the face. So make sure you have those on. Don't even try it without it, because you will end up in a hospital. Safety glasses, maybe some gloves if you want, but honestly, it's just protect your face and your eyes mostly, because your face will be fine, but just your eyes. So yeah, right there I just double check, and I started with the bottom line across the bottom. That worked well for me, so I kind of just worked my way around first, and kind of do like a rectangle, and then you could get all the other you know, the tougher spots that are round, or you know, it notches in or out or whatever. I added more tape because you got that shit flying everywhere, and you don't want it messing up your paint, or you know, possibly you know, chipping it, or right there, like the rectangle, just like I said. And I put the template, you know, I taped it next to me just so I see how it's supposed to look. Kind of use that just like tattoo artists use them, you know, you kind of put it right next to you so you remember where your lines are and stuff. So right there I'm test fitting the width of it and making sure that it's not too wide or anything, and I was pretty good. So that template does work, and it was right on the money. Right there I'm just like, you know, with that you should be able to do all the edges, you know, kind of just grind them out and use whatever angle is best for you. Pretty much all I could say, you know, just use your head, just common sense, you know. Right there I'm just doing a little curve or the little round spots that show up on that template. So working through, double check it, triple check it, you know, take your time. You get one shot, but it's pretty easy, guys. So here we go. Everything was good. You know, you'll figure it out as you go through it, and honestly this only took me like, I don't know, I want to say 10 minutes, and it was good. Do a little close up just so you can see that. Not bad. Pretty good. So now I'm gonna show you guys kind of the steps I took. Sorry for the mess too. It's kind of messy right there. So, you know, some solder. That right there is regular, I think it's paste flux. You could get that at Lowe's. That's where I got it. I couldn't find it at Home Depot, but it should be in like the electrical area. And what that does is it helps move the solder through the strands in the wire. So yeah, these are the pigtails I'm showing you. You know, that kind of comes like that, plug and play. So yeah, just strip them both the same length. Also, the type of wire, the wire I use, I think was 16 gauge wire, so that's what I use. So just separate your strands like that, and make sure they're the same length. So the two wires that are going together, make sure that you strip them the same length. So I kind of just dip it in the flux first, dip both of them, and like I said, the solder will flow through the stuff great and you won't have any issues. Here's the heat shrink. Don't forget these, guys, because you're gonna hate yourself if you forget them. After you solder everything and then you forget this, it just sucks. So do things the right way. Don't use tape or anything like that. Just buy this. I went to Harbor Freight. I think that whole box was maybe $3 or $4 or $5, I don't know, and it brings a ton of it. So yeah, you separate the strands, slide them into each other like that, and just twist them together. Now the alligator clips there that I have, you'll see them right now. I'm gonna use them. After you twist them, you hang that up on the alligator clips, and this is gonna help you a lot, guys. I mean, you could do it without it, I'm pretty sure you can, but it's just easier. And that also I got at Harbor Freight maybe a couple years ago. I think it was really cheap, guys. It was like $7, so just pick that up. And yeah, just put some more flux on there. It's only gonna help you. And that's the soldering iron used. I got that at Home Depot, and I think it was like 20 bucks. That's the one I prefer. It heats up quicker, and it has that little, it's better than a soldering like pen looking one. It's just better than those because you could sit the solder on there. So yeah, you kind of just dab it on the on that little edge right there on the soldering thing, and you place it underneath and just heat up the wire, and you'll see the flux just bubble up and just starts to like absorb the solder through the strands. And you don't want any strands showing, so when you're doing this, just make sure that you're getting every single strand on there, and just put enough on there and tug on it and make sure it's good. I've been doing this for maybe, I don't know, I've done it before plenty of times, so I kind of have some experience. So the more you do it, the better you get with it. And this little tool I have right here, you don't really need, you could use a lighter or whatever you have, but for me it works well. It's a Dremel like pen looking thing, but it's just easier to use this for me. So yeah, that one's done. And yeah, so here's the length I used. It's pretty much an arm's length. Just wanted to show you that. That's all you need. Like I said, my car, I took it apart already, and you don't have to take the fender off. You don't have to do that. That's way too much work. So just do it the best you can. And I think when your fender's still on, you could use like a piece of wire or just something to get it from where your hole is for your side marker all the way out to your headlight. And it's pretty open area, so you should be able to slide your wire through there. I mean, you could use a clothing hanger or anything just to get your wire over there, so it's not too difficult. What I did, my car was in pieces, it's taken apart already, so it's just like 2 bolts for me to take off and just do that. And like you saw before there, I used some of that plastic tubing stuff. Also, I got a Harbor Freight, and I just make sure my wires are good because I'm probably never gonna take this wire out of there. I mean, I already made the hole, so it's gonna be there forever. So zip ties, also Harbor Freight or anywhere, a couple dollars. So I kind of just left it where I think it, where the hole is gonna be, just a rough area, and yeah, just zip tie everything. And my wire's already there, and just pulled it through. And just for the future, I still haven't wired everything, just doing steps at a time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I apologize for the video being so damn long, but just that's it, man. Show you a little bit of my car and see you guys in the next video.